Welcome into Snow The Goalie. We are live at Chickie's and Pete's in Bordentown, New Jersey. And guys, I wore my Christmas sweater. The holidays are nearly here. I wore my ugly Christmas sweater.
That's nice. I like that one.
Because
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah. The nose of the reindeer.
Thank goodness for that, man.
Pooping out peppermints in the back.
You don't have to say that, though, because people are trying to eat.
Well, I'm just saying, that's what I want to eat.
They don't want to eat.
You made me wear this.
I didn't make you do anything. Welcome on in. All of you joining us over on YouTube, Facebook, and X, thank you for joining us. Those of you who are joining over on the WBCV YouTube as well, thank you for joining us. I'll go look at this now.
Yes, I'll take it from here. We're having a sound issue on the stream. I know you hear in the restaurant can hear it just fine, but Russ is going to work with our technician to get it fixed on the stream. But yeah, Bundy, we're getting ready for coming off of a good win for the Flyers last night over the Vancouver Canucks.
Yep.
They play again tonight at 9 p.m.
Yep.
Weird start time.
TNT game?
I know, but still a weird start time.
It's still late in Chicago. It's at 8 o'clock start in Chicago. Yeah, that was really rare. Yeah.
That's why I thought it was weird. I thought maybe 8:30. It's a 7:30 start like we had last night. But last game before the break, and I think that the Flyers really looked at these two games and decided that they need to be, these were important games for them. Like they wanted to win these two and get these 4 points going into the break.
It's a huge 4 points because there are two teams that are less than the Flyers are in the standings. I thought the Flyers handled Vancouver beautifully last night. They didn't get, Vancouver didn't have much of anything going on via the middle of the ice. The Flyers shut them down, locked down that hockey game until late when they got a couple goals when the game was already out of reach. But tonight against Chicago, having guys like Bedard out and Frank Nazar not playing for the Hawks, this is almost another must-win game to collect 2 points tonight in Chicago. Yeah, you can't let this slip away, 2 points.
No, 100%. 100%. You know what's the funny thing, Bundy? Woke up this morning and you look at the standings, and for all of the consternation that there's been about the Flyers this year, they're in second place.
Yeah.
They have the sixth best point percentage in the NHL.
Yep.
Like, these are things that you just don't expect to say 3 days before Christmas or 2 days before Christmas.
Yep.
And yet here we are. And look, they're not a perfect team. There's still a lot of flaws with this team. There's still a lot of issues. That said, they are where they are.
They are, and you have to give them credit for that, for being where they are. And there's been, it feels like there's been so much chatter about what's wrong with the team rather than what's right with the team. In terms of whether it's a fan reaction or whatever else, it more gravitates towards Matvei Michkov or is he in shape? Is he out of shape? What's going on with him? Can't do any wrong inside Flyers Twitter. But I think the team in and of itself, 18-10-7. They've done a really good job manufacturing wins and getting up, climbing the point standings.
Yeah, and they have. And I know that's not the most ideal 18-10-7, right? I mean, you got 7 overtime and shootout losses. They have 7 overtime and shootout wins.
Yep.
Right? So it's you've only won 11 games in regulation. I get it. But that's the NHL this year. These days, right? It just is so many more games are going past regulation.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of teams, what they've realized that they can do is if the game is tied or in the third period, they're going to start playing real defensive hockey.
Yeah.
Because you sit there and say, let's guarantee we get 1 point.
Yep.
And then try for the win in overtime in the shootout.
I hate the loser point, by the way.
So do I.
Because when you lose the game.
Yes.
You could call yourself, I said Rick Tocchet the other day, said, we're 17-10. No, you're not.
You're
17-10-7.
Yes, they're 17-7.
There's 7 more losses on there. I know you got a point for them, but that's not the true way of looking at it.
Correct.
And if you look at the Flyers standings, and I know that the standings are so tight. I mean, you look at anybody, you win one night, you fall down a spot in the standings or 2 spots because somebody else won. But I just feel like that's like that loser point to me bothers me a lot. That because it is a loss.
Right.
It's a loss ultimately.
Yeah. No, 100%. But all that said, if everybody's playing that way, if that's how the entire league is playing, then you can't fault the Flyers.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying you, but I'm saying the royal you. You can't, fans can't, nobody can fault the Flyers for playing that way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and they're doing a good job. I mean, they're doing what they do in a league that was a lot of parity. I mean, teams are so close, so tight now in terms of the way that they perform and the way they compete that there's not a lot of wiggle room for error anymore in terms of climbing the standings.
Yeah.
Hey, big thing about last night. We didn't get to talk about it much. We talked about it very little bit after the game, but I figured we'd bring it up here again. Best fourth line that they've had together. All three of those guys last night have played on the fourth line this year, but it was the first time the three of them played together. They were the three stars of the game last night. You know, put up 6 points in the game. You're not expecting that, on a regular basis, but to get contributions. I mean, it's one thing for the fourth line to play. It's another thing for the fourth line to contribute. And to get contributions from all three guys in the same game, that's a big part of being a successful hockey team.
Yeah, and you can't expect it every night, but there's nights when the fourth line has a great game that you're like, wow, this is great. Like you weren't expecting it, right? It was 2-0 Flyers, and not one of the top two lines have done any damage except for the fourth line. Yeah. So it got to the
an update in about 20 minutes on who's in goal tonight for the game against the Blackhawks. There's part of me, you normally in a back-to-back, one goalie plays one game, the other goalie plays the other. I just get the sense, and you tell me what you think, I just get the sense, Bundy, that because they have a 4-day break with the holiday here, that we just Yeah, I do, and I think because, like I said, I think that they've looked at these two games as really important games for them, and so because of that, they're probably going to want their number one guy going both of them. That's just, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in 20 minutes I get a text from the Tocchet pregame media availability, and it says, no, Sam Erson's in goal, and then we have a different conversation.
right.
But my spidey sense is kind of telling me that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I agree. I would do that. I would go back with Vladar if I were the coach.
Yeah, I would too. Another guy that's been really good, and we're going to talk about him probably a little bit more later when we go to our player of the week once Russ gets back from trying to figure out the audio issues that we're having. Is Trevor Zegras. 8-game point streak. Right? I mean, he just keeps putting points.
Yeah. And it's not like he's incredibly thin, but when I look at these 8 games, he was flashier earlier in the season than he's been in these 8 games. Now he's playing a little bit different type of game. He's still doing what he does, but it's not as one.
We talked about it in the years Giroux was here, right? Think about all the points that Giroux got from being a power play guy. Right? Trevor Zegras isn't getting those big power plays. He's got some power play points.
Right.
But most of his stuff is coming at even strength.
Yep.
That says a lot about the forecheck and how it's working. And, they retrieve pucks really well, and they do a really nice job of that, especially that top line. Ever since they put them together with Dvorak and Konechny, Those three have done a nice job.
I think one of the biggest things the Flyers have done this year, and especially with guys like Zegras coming in, I really feel like they've done a great job in the neutral zone in terms of adjusting their forecheck mid-game, finding what it is. Because last night against Vancouver, I thought the Flyers almost the entire game really, really clogged up the neutral zone and kept most of the Vancouver stuff to the perimeter. The defense had great gaps, and Vancouver just couldn't get in the zone to create anything. And that's a lot, I think, a lot to do with the neutral zone forecheck that they put out.
Let me ask you this question from a strategic and statistical kind of look at this team. They've done a nice job with that all year, right? I mean, that's kind of been their mantra. Is that sustainable to continue to play that way throughout the rest of the season? Because I remember, I think the difference here, Bundy, is 2 years ago when they were in a playoff position and then they lost it at the end of the year, they kind of collapsed.
Yeah.
Missed on the last day. The thing that we kept saying all year that wasn't sustainable was they're blocking so many shots. They're throwing themselves in front of pucks. That can't be sustainable because the body's just not going to let it be sustainable, right?
Right.
This is different. They're not doing that, and yet they're still playing defensive first hockey. So the question is, can this style be sustainable throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, and that's a matter of them sticking to the system and doing exactly what the coach has given them for a pre-scout every single game.
Right.
Is it sustainable? They play a lot of low-event hockey games, right?
Yeah.
And I've always been a believer that low-event hockey, it works for a short period of time, but it kind of shows its warts over the long term.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what they're trying to avoid, is to avoid falling into that trap again, like they did a couple of years ago.
Right.
Where things kind of just spiraled out of control on them, and they didn't have the system to rely on it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I would venture to say you would be better off. You could better play low event hockey if your power play was even
smoking hot,
even mediocre, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, for this team, considering they're bottom of the league, right?
Yeah.
Like, even if they were middle of the pack, say like 15th, 16th in the league, right there, smack in the middle, I think that would make a world of difference.
Yeah.
Right? Because you get that extra one goal every couple games that it's like, okay.
Yeah, and I know like the Flyers have done some great stuff this year, but I also don't think you can't forget the effort that Dan Vladar has put forward for this team.
Yeah.
I mean, he has bailed them out several nights.
Yeah.
Where they didn't have it, and he was just unbelievably good. That's why, to this point, he's still the MVP of the season.
Oh, there's no question.
Not even close.
No,
right?
I don't even think it's close at all.
No, it's not.
I think it's 100% that Vladar is the MVP. We get to vote, and as you've pointed out, I'm not 100% sure how much that vote matters, but we get to vote at the end of the year for the Bobby Clark Trophy for the team MVP, and I can't imagine that anybody else would pick someone else other than Dan Vladar.
Yeah.
At this point, like if we voted today, I can't imagine anybody else would vote somebody besides Vladar.
I can't either. He'd be the only winner for me of that award thus far.
Yeah.
At the end of the season today, he's a hands-down winner.
Yeah.
In the second half, we'll find out more about him, because he's only played, a little less than 40 games in a season is a high mark he's had.
Right.
So we'll see how he's able to sustain the workload in the second half.
Speaking of MVPs, how you doing, Russell?
I'm delightful. How are you?
Me and Anthony just talked for 15 minutes straight.
I appreciate that.
We don't
Did you
normally
fix
do that on
everything?
this show. You know what? It was 15 minutes of straight hockey talk,
I know.
which never happens
Allow
on
me
this
to come
show.
in here and blow
And
the
I've
whole
come to
thing
the
up.
determination that you're the reason why we don't have straight hockey
By
talk.
the way, did you notice? I don't know. Did you see me? Could you see me when I was ducking under there?
Yeah, your backside came in there a couple times.
You know why I did that?
What is that?
Because I didn't have to. You know why I did it? It's because we're getting so close to the holiday season. And what happened? Did you guys, when you were growing up, or when you had your kids and the kids were young, did you ever do the video of like Christmas of opening the presents? Did you guys do that?
Yeah.
And then somebody, usually the mom, not saying that that's the case in our house, it was when I was growing up. The mom always bends down, tries to pick up the wrapping paper, and then you end up having your mom's keister on the video.
Yes.
When you're trying to see yourself open up, a nice present on Christmas morning. So that was,
my favorite thing about that used to be is whenever, because there were so many kids, like all the cousins and everybody would gather around to open up all the presents, and everybody would want to open it simultaneously. And so there were times when it was chaos and everybody yelling at each other about give me the wrapping paper. It's got to go in the trash bag. Can't have the wrapping paper all over the place.
Yeah, I used to grab 2 trash bags before they even started opening.
Right, just grab
it.
them,
Made me crazy seeing all the wrapper.
It got to a point where my dad, bless that man, got so fed up with my family just like losing their minds every time we did this, that he instituted a rule that you opened presents from youngest to oldest, so that way there was no chaos, there was no new wrapping paper all over the place, who wasn't throwing it out, whatever, because everybody wanted to start playing with their toys, right, and things like that. He instituted that the youngest goes first, opens all their gifts, then the second, and then so on up to the oldest. And that was my dad's plan, and it remained that way for many, many years, up through my kids being like young kids.
You would actually go, the youngest opens all their presents.
All.
No.
And then, well, you see, that may not work in your house because you have 4 kids.
That's right.
Like within 6 years of each other.
The four kids, everybody gets to open a present. So you go, everybody opens one, because that allows you to appreciate the present that you have, and it also distracts you from ripping your siblings' paper open. And then you go the second round, and then the third. And, you know, I don't usually break it up where it's like, all right, mom and dad are going to do a gift, but sometimes, you know, this is what's wrong with this country. Sometimes.
Go ahead, Bernie.
You get all every child deserves a present, but like you get all these kids, and like they rip through all the presents, right? They get like 5 seconds of play, and then they're on to the next thing, and then it's like, well, then what? You know, Santa does all that work, a lot of hard work out there with the elves and such, and they go out and they do all their stuff, and then like the kid plays it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Same thing with the grandparents too. Love the grandparents. Grandparents come over, they have a lot of stuff for the kids, and it's the same thing. And then you don't want to have it like one set of grandparents to give the kids something and they play with that, and then the other grandparents come and they give something, and then it's like 5 seconds. Yeah, it's just, this is why I like Thanksgiving better. I love Christmas. I'm a good Catholic boy. I love Christmas. I love the meaning of Christmas. I like Thanksgiving better.
I do too.
There are no expectations.
I do too.
I had so much stress this past week. Let's talk about shopping here real quick. I'm officially taking us off the rails. Are you done? Are you done shopping?
We're not getting back to hockey?
We will.
Oh, okay.
Are you done shopping?
I'm done, yeah.
How long ago did you finish up?
Today.
Okay.
No.
I have one thing coming in the mail today.
I take my kids to a store every year now.
Okay.
And I buy them some clothes that they want. I go to Lululemon. They like that stuff. So I take them, get them each something at Lululemon, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't worry about that wrapping gift stuff anymore.
Yeah.
They love it because they're older now.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing you'll learn too, because I don't wrap gifts for my kids either. I actually, my gift for my kids is a card.
Okay.
But then I write in the card what their gifts are. They're usually experiences, whether it's tickets to a sporting event, tickets to a musical. Hey, I'm paying for your hotel on your vacation or something like that. Whatever, like something like that. So like I do experiences because they're adults. My son's going to turn 30 in 2 months, right? My oldest, and they're not little kids anymore. So I don't feel like I need to do the whole wrap stuff up and have it be unwrapped and all that stuff. I think that they appreciate it for what it is.
Okay.
But I still have a couple things I have to buy online tonight for that purpose.
Christmas changed for me when the kids got older. You know, they got into their late teens and 20s.
Yeah.
And you lost the little kid part of it, like with that big raucous on Christmas morning. So I do miss that, though. I do miss that craziness, the part you're in right now.
It is good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
hey, Russ, where are we, by the way?
We are in Bordentown at Chickie's and Pete's. And I'll tell you what, we had some great food before we went live.
What did we have today, Russell?
Well, Bundy, of course, had the Bundy, which is a bowl of clam chowder, 12 cold shrimp, which I learned is actually 2 orders of their shrimp.
Yeah.
They don't sell them in 12s. So he gets two sets of the shrimp and a pizza.
The traditional.
The
Traditional pizza, yep.
I rock and rolled with Bundy tonight. I went with the 12 cold shrimp and a grilled chicken sandwich.
You like
and it was
those, don't you?
fantastic. I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the second week in a row,
You went.
fish tacos.
And how does that make you feel on the inside?
Good. They're great.
That's good.
That might be my new go-to here. I've bounced around. I've done the barbecue burger. I've done the crab cake sandwich, which is great. But I went with the fish tacos now 2 weeks in a row. I highly, highly recommend those fish tacos. Chickies and Pete's has 17 locations.
That's a lot.
Yes. We're here in Bordentown tonight. We will be in Parks Casino next Tuesday night. If you want to come out to our show next Tuesday and see us at Parks Casino, 6 p.m. next Tuesday. And when you're at the Flyers game, there are 2 Chickies and Pete's locations. Be sure to check them out either in the East Food Hall or at the southeast entrance in front of Section 103, which I said wrong last week when I arbitrarily spit out
No, you didn't have the read in front of
Yeah,
you.
I didn't.
And then you tried to wing it.
I tried to wing it, and I got it wrong.
Yeah.
So it's section 103 is where it's at.
Okay.
So
Well, it's good to know.
yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. So yeah.
Although, I mean, maybe people are going to go down and they're going to go see whatever's going on in the Xfinity Mobile Arena. There was
Disney on Ice.
Peanuts. Well, it was like Peanuts thing, right? Aren't they doing? Was it Charlie Brown? Isn't that what they were showing in the arena last night? Yeah,
That was last night.
No, I thought are they not doing like a spectacular thing? It's not like a Disney on Ice equivalent.
Disney
thing?
on Ice is coming now.
Oh, so
that's why
it's not
everybody's
the-
on the road. The Flyers on the road to 6.
No, I know, but I thought that like the way that they were advertising Peanuts was it Peanuts night? It was, and they were giving out the Snoopy bobblehead, and we did not get any. I highlighted the fact that they were doing the Snoopy. I'm disappointed in the Flyers.
You just realized this now
I did.
that it was a Peanuts themed night last
Well,
night.
I thought that they were
like everything on the screen and the big board was a
I thought it was
Peanuts
akin to
theme.
like how they do the thing where it's like with the Philadelphia Orchestra and like they play.
That's
they
why
play
the
along
game
with
was delayed last night to 7:45 puck drop because of the Peanuts Christmas Spectacular.
Yeah,
that's why last night's game puck drop was 7:45.
Oh, okay.
Way to be
that was an Amazon thing.
Way to be aware of things, Russell.
Nah, just living my best life, hanging out, talking some puck.
Yeah.
Down in the Xfinity.
Apparently, and Amadeo just said it that the bobblehead was for very specific ticket packages.
That's
it wasn't
lame.
for everybody.
Can I say that's lame? I say it. That's
we
lame.
still should have gotten it.
The Flyers can call me and they can complain. That's
Flyers
lame.
people, we still should have
Do
gotten
better.
a bobblehead.
You know
Like,
what?
People wanted
you know
the
what though?
bobblehead.
I will say. So there were almost 20,000 people in the arena last night. You covered this. 19,994, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
At that point,
96.
go find 6 people walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Get to 20K, right?
Yeah.
But they had all those people in the building. Did you see what the Ducks were giving out? They were giving out the duck cracker.
Yeah.
It was the Anaheim Duck as a nutcracker.
As a nutcracker.
But they were only giving it out to the first 10,000 people. Now, am I crazy for thinking that if you're going to do a big giveaway, you should be able to give one to everybody who's in the arena,
100%.
especially if it's right at the holidays, right?
100%.
Like, you know, a random October night, middle of the month, whatever. Like, you don't have enough T-shirts, that's a bummer, whatever. But like right before Christmas, at the end of Hanukkah, prior to Kwanzaa, right after the winter solstice, I'm very inclusive. If you're going to be giving away a nutcracker, everybody should get one.
Should get one. Yep.
Am I crazy?
No,
Okay.
not crazy. By the way, did you see what the Los Angeles Kings did?
No.
They had a pregame skate.
Okay.
And they had all of their players come out for the pregame skate wearing the number 67.
I saw that. I did see that. Yeah.
I'm ready to.
I don't understand this 6-7 thing.
No one does. It is the first time that I can remember in a long time that a viral sensation doesn't actually have a genesis. The farthest they can trace back is a random basketball game where a kid, like a probably 12, 13-year-old kid, was doing 6-7. There's no actual genesis. No one knows. Somebody thought that it was like it started in a rap or a hip-hop song.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's true.
Okay.
And so it goes back to this kid. That's like the farthest they're able to trace it back. I think it's just proof that it was 3i Atlas, the fake comet that's going around the
There you
Earth
go.
right now. Yeah.
There you
Definitely
go.
aliens. They beamed it down 6-7. Maybe there's a secret meaning to 6-7.
Secret meeting.
Has any flyer ever worn the number 67?
I think that went too far, by the way.
Yeah.
By the king, like even acknowledging it, the Kings making all their players wear it. I think that goes a little bit too far.
You think that was too far?
I know it's we've taken it too far. Yeah.
All right. I'll hit you with some trivia.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a flyer to wear the number 6-7? And if so, who was it?
There was. I don't know who it is.
There was a 67. I would say
think so.
Preseason game maybe, but I don't
This
remember.
would only count like regular season and playoffs.
Yeah, I don't remember a guy in a regular. Maybe there was. I don't remember a guy.
Anthony, go on the record, yes or no? And who was it?
I'm going to say yes, there was, but I can't think of who the name was.
Anthony?
I'm going to say I don't remember one. So I'm going to say no.
There was never a 67 in franchise history.
Really?
What's this? Yannick Dupree wore 66. Normand Lacombe and Yager both wore 68.
Correct.
Nobody has worn the number 69 like Doug Glatt in Goon. 6-7 is the 6-7 and 69 and 63
Yeah, the 60s
are the only ones that don't
yeah.
have a flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. If somebody really wanted to punk the entire Flyers fan base, they could change the. How can you change your number mid-season?
yeah, but
Willy-nilly?
yes,
you?
but you couldn't do it like multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go. All right, I'm
Can you
going to
think
change
of a
it.
time that a guy has changed his number
Well, usually, like if you trade for a guy and that
No,
guy.
no,
wants
I don't mean like be a trade. I mean like being able to change your number while you remain with the same team.
Well, a lot of times, like a younger player gets like the assigned training camp number.
Yeah, and
then
then changes it when they make the roster.
Well, yeah, but sometimes though they've started the season with the training camp number, and then once they've solidified their role in season, they've changed the number. Right, Bundy? Like they changed the number at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, like Farabee changed his number. If you remember, he went from 49 to 86, right? That was the last one I remember of a change in season. So that was the only one
By
that
the way,
I could think of.
I love this. Brian Paul over on Facebook says it's everyone talking about the last time the Maple Leafs won the cup, 6-7.
67, yeah.
That's what it goes back to.
There you go.
That's what it trades. I knew there was a hockey connection
it's
to
all
it.
the Leafs fans.
Yeah, I knew there was a hockey connection to it.
Talk about a mess of a team right now, the Maple Leafs.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it is funny. We were talking about this last night on Press Row Show. The Scott Lawton trade, like to look back on that now, you got Gurbenkin and you got a pick.
Oh, it's crazy, dude. They gave away that.
And listen, we all liked Scott Lawton. On a human level, seemed like a really good dude.
Yeah.
You would hear people say that he was an ultimate glue guy, a really positive dude. We know that he worked with a bunch of different groups in the city, in the general area. And so, like as an ambassador for the Flyers, a really good player, but he was a bottom six forward. They got a first-round pick and Gurbenkin. And so I guess now maybe I don't know what the first 15 minutes were as I was adjusting audio.
Yeah, we were talking
did you guys
current
dive,
hockey.
Okay, did you dive all the way into the fourth line from last night? Or
We talked a little bit about it, yeah.
Okay. Coming out of last night, if you had to make a projection, which guy ultimately gets off that fourth line? Like if one guy from that line were to like solidify on like say the third line, would it be Gurbenkin or would it be Grundstrom?
Gurbenkin. He's younger with more upside. I think Grundstrom is what he is. He's an NHL player, but he's been around the league for a bit, so you kind of know what he is.
You don't think Tocchet would like lean into him more?
I mean, maybe in the current season, but I think ultimately you say who's the guy longer term. I think Gurbenkin probably has a better chance. Right?
I think it's Grundstrom because
yeah,
I do.
For the short term,
yeah, he's already in short term. Yeah, he's already shown that because he sits Gurbenkin like every fourth game, right?
Yeah,
comes out of the lineup. Grundstrom he elevated to the first line. Or with the Couturier and Tippett for that small sample size last week.
Yeah, if you're saying just for this season, then yes, it's Grundstrom. But when the way you asked the question, I thought you were saying ultimately.
No, I just mean like this season. Like
then
Bundy's right.
Then Bundy's right.
Solidify in that
then Bundy's right.
You're all right though about a lot, but you've talked about GMs that set themselves behind the eight ball. The guy in Toronto, I mean, giving away a first round pick and a player of Gurbenkin's ability for Lawton it's fireable.
It's crazy.
It's a fireable offense.
It's crazy. By the way, Guido Valenti points out Noah Cates switched from 49 to 27. That is correct.
Point. Yeah, good point.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Hey,
what was Frost's number change? He ended at 48, right? But he started at. Did he have a number?
He might have had like a training camp number, but I think he was always 48 once he became a regular on the team. He may have had a training camp, like a 62 kind of training camp number, whatever. I think we got to do I think we know where we're going with this, but we have to do our payroll service solutions player of the week.
Should we do a song?
Do you have a song for payroll? Do you have a song for this?
Do you want to do a song?
No,
you can't hear. Well, we won't be able to hear it through the headphones, but the people listening on the stream can.
I don't hear anything in my headphones. I hear you normal. Is that supposed to be happening?
Well, the headphones are out right now.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. I may as well take these off. But if we're using the mic, are the mics working?
The mics are working. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's why we have to keep them on.
Oh wait, hold on. I just felt the static to my ears. All right.
Maybe. Anyway.
Okay.
So payroll service solutions player of the week. It is now that player is brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today, 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. As we're having an audio issue inside the building now that we're trying to resolve. Bundy, I'll throw it to you first because I know you brought it up while we were eating dinner. And I think we're going to be all in agreement on this, but since it was your call during dinner, I'll let you tell us who your payroll service solutions player of the week is.
Yeah, there was a few guys there. Now I hear my headset now, so that's good. There's a couple guys you could have gone with. I mean, you could have easily made a case for Denver Barkey for the great game he had in his opener at the New York Rangers, but he didn't play in the game prior to that, which was part of the new week. So I eliminated him from consideration just because of that. But because he's on an 8-game point streak and he's piling up the points at even strength too and done a great job. I'm going to go back with Trevor Zegras as a payroll solutions player of the week. That's at least on my side of it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and like we were saying, Russ, and I don't know if you're in agreement that Zegras would be the pick, but we were saying it's not been a flashy 8-game point streak, or not, was it 8 or 9? 8-game point streak, going for 9 tonight. It hasn't been a flashy 8-game point streak, but yet he's continuing to do it, and he's doing it while the Flyers are playing a consistent defensive style, which is, you wouldn't think that it would be the way that the Flyers play would be conducive to that. Yet this team has been putting up a lot of shots lately. They've been scoring some more goals lately. They're generating offense from, as John Stevens always used to say, create offense from defensive posture, and that's kind of what they've been doing. And so Zegras has still been able to create that offense from that way that the Flyers are playing.
Yeah, fine. I'll give you unanimous. It's the holidays.
I didn't know what was the other. I mean,
it was hard to find another guy.
I actually
Barkey would have been.
Barkey.
Yeah,
I thought Barkey maybe deserved a look, if for no other reason than he got his first call up, had
was impressive.
Had a couple of assists, looked like he belonged.
He's an honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, I agree. I like if they didn't play the game in Buffalo within the time span of since our last show. Not that anybody played well in that game, but Zegras at least registered points in that game.
Yeah.
Had it just been off of the Rangers game and last night, I think you could go Denver Barkey. But because you have to include the Buffalo game, Zegras has a little bit more of a resume for those 3 games. Agreed?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So Trevor Zegras is your Payroll Service Solutions Player of the Week. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Payroll Service Solutions caters to the small and medium-sized business to handle all of your payroll needs. Call them once again at 1-866-PAY-EASY.
I read on Twitter today that someone said Mishkov had his best game last night of the season. Did you guys watch the same game I did? I'm not saying he played bad.
No, I think he's had better games this season. I thought it was a decent game for Mishkov last night. You know what it is, Bundy, and the people who are there's two schools. There's one, the people who are now going to say that every game that he plays is going to be a great game because they want to have that friction, right? That between what the team thinks and what they think. But secondarily, there's some analytic stuff that if you look at just the numbers and aren't watching the game with your eyeballs, you look at it and say, oh, yeah, he had a really good game. Like, zone entries were high when he was on the ice. And, expected goals was high. And their shot total was better when he was on the ice than when he was not on the ice. All those things, right? I thought that he had a decent game. I thought that line had a decent game.
I thought he was great, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he played his best game of the year.
Correct. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I was saying he was fine, but I read that. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It feels like he's trending in the right direction. I think that if there's one thing that you can maybe go into this, little winter season, the holiday season, you want to warm the cockles of your heart, you can look at it and say he looks significantly better now than he did back in October. I think that's like pretty much across the board. We should be able to agree that on the whole, he looks better than he did at the start of the year. You would hope so over the course of a season, and you'd hope that as he's working on conditioning, all this other stuff, that he's going to look better. He's going to start to find his rhythm, find a groove. I don't know if last night blew the roof off, but it was a good game.
Yeah, he got an empty net goal. I mean, but I didn't think he played
call that
poorly.
The Konechny special.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? And Bush was saying this on the broadcast last night, and I think some people were criticizing him for saying it, but I buy into what he was saying. He was saying how even though it was an empty net goal, it's an important goal, and it's an important goal because now he no longer has a 10-game goal drought hanging on over his shoulder, over his head, and he can. It didn't have to go to 11. And, it wouldn't grow to 12. Like now, if he doesn't score tonight, it's only one game without a goal, right? So, it's just the mentality of that, right? That whether or not you just sit there and say, oh, he did have a goal. Yeah, some people's you have to look it up and say, oh, it was an empty net goal. But I think for him, the mentality for the player, sometimes that's all you need.
I don't actually know if that's the case for him. So,
He's a counting stats guy, man. He wants to see his goal total
yeah,
high.
but he knows it's not a goal. Like an empty net goal counts as a goal, but he knows that it's not the same thing as actually creating your own shot and netting a goal with somebody between the pipes. So I don't necessarily think that it takes as much of a burden off as you think it does. Maybe it's like nice to have that little streak, that goal drought streak broken. But I think for him, like it's still I need to find that goal scoring touch. I still have to be able to execute at a higher level.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. Like when you talk about like the work ethic, whatever happened in the off season, the preseason, all of that, the one thing that I kind of hang on to is, if you try to look at it glass half full, is to this point in his career, and even going back to the KHL and to what the vets over there said about him, he is driven to be great. Like the idea is there, the mentality is there. Remember back in the Nolan Patrick days, we would always hear, does he actually want to be a great player? Is he just kind of coasting on his talent? That's not necessarily what we've heard about Mishkov.
No.
It's more of a, is he trying to like break the all-time goal scoring record? Well, who the hell knows? But I don't think he's complacent. I think he made a really bad mistake in the offseason. I think that's about where it goes. So when you look at it now, I think that he's got the mental fortitude to kind of, press forward, figure it out. And I think that once he gets a few actual goals with a goalie in between the pipes, that's when you're going to see that confidence really skyrocket. And that's when this team feels like a legitimate, you want to say second in the Metropolitan, you want to say they're a playoff team, all that. They will finally feel like an actual playoff team when he hits his stride. Right now, they have a ton of overtime wins and shootout wins, and that's great. But to me, they still don't feel like a playoff team that can definitely win a first round. And I don't think anybody expected them to this year. But like if he starts hitting, then it feels like your ceiling is significantly higher.
Yeah, by the way, I got news. Bundy, we were wrong.
Urson going?
Sam Urson will start in tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks.
There's a over here in the restaurant.
Yes. Sam Urson in that tonight.
Well, hey, on a positive note, you can go to bed early tonight.
9 o'clock start. Won't be over till about Flyers games. Flyers games go closer to 3 hours than any other team in hockey.
Yep.
It's and you know what? I don't know if it's why, but it happens in Philadelphia more than anywhere else.
Yeah.
The games in Philly, for whatever reason, when you're watching a game in Philadelphia and you're watching scoreboard watching, why is every game over at 9:30 and the Flyers games go till 9:50 every night?
We have all those screens that are in like the old sports book.
Yeah.
By the
games are over. Flyers are still going 20 minutes later.
We're watching the clock hit zero. And there's still 8 minutes of regulation.
In regulation
and then
left.
they go to overtime, and then they go to a shootout, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think that this is a missed opportunity tonight for them to see what Dan Vladar looks like playing back-to-back.
I'm looking at it the positive side, Anthony, that Sam's going to have a big game tonight.
Maybe
and he's
he
going
does.
to redeem himself from the Rangers.
Maybe he does, but I look at it like this way, Bundy. Like, you're going to have to play important games down the stretch, right? And you're going to want your number one guy to play a bulk of those big games. You may have to play back-to-back nights later this season because he's the better option of the two, right? I'm not to say that backup goalie's not going to play at all, but there's going to be times where you're going to spread it out a little bit more. Why wait till then to find out if he can go back-to-back? Do it now.
Is it because they're worried about whatever injury he just had?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because I mean that would be your initial thought.
Maybe that's you're giving them their excuse, but no.
But I'm just throwing out there.
Yes,
we try to be fair and balanced here. He was just coming off of being day to day. He managed to come back, and now we don't know what it was. Did he have Did he have a little irritation in the gut? Did he have a migraine? Did he have his shoulder pop out? No one knows because hockey. We don't talk about what the injuries are because it's stupid and archaic. But here's the bigger issue. We can all agree that Dan Vladar is clearly the number one, right?
Yes.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Yes.
So now you're going to go 6 days between starts. He started on Monday, and he presumably will not start again until Sunday against Seattle.
Is it Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday?
I'm looking at it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
6 days between starts.
Yeah.
I don't like that. For your number one, I don't like that
at
all.
I'm just a little.
Everybody's off at Christmas. Trust me, the Christmas trip. You're talking about the post.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that it's 6 days between starts. I'd rather
everybody's
in the
same
back
boat
to back.
after Christmas. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. No.
Yeah.
Guys have been off the ice for 3 days. You come back, it takes everybody 2 days to get back in the swing of it after Christmas. So
Yeah, no, I'm just a little. I just think this was an opportunity miss. That's all.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really think about it. If you are a playoff team, you're not playing both goalies, right? In the playoffs,
Right.
You're playing one guy.
Yeah.
Unless you're desperate and you need to make a change for jumpstart the team, but the plan is going into your playoff, you're playing one guy. Why not find out in December if he can go back-to-back nights?
Right.
That's my thought.
And it's a team. Well, is it talk looking at it and saying this is a team that, in theory, is 9 games under 500? Is that what this is?
Yeah, and then there's
And
no
say-
Bedard.
Yeah,
no
no-
Frank Nazar.
Like, is
Yeah,
is
they're
that- is that
missing.
what it is?
They're
Like,
missing some good
try
players.
to give Arison a reason to go into the break with a little bit of confidence. Is that it?
Sure,
I don't know.
I'm sure that there's justifications for it, right? And I'm not saying this is the most egregious decision that they're going to make all year, right? It's not. It's one game in December. That said, I think there was an opportunity here. There was just an opportunity. That's all.
I like this one. Paul McLaughlin over on YouTube says you have to get Sam back into his group.
Paul,
What exactly
with
is
all
his-
due
what
respect,
is his group?
yes,
He has
that
a
was what I
group?
was going to say.
He
Like,
has a group.
His goals, his save
His
percentage,
groove is playing like 3 games and going on the injured list.
his save percentage has gone down
With
each season.
respect.
Each season, it's gone down since his rookie year. It's gone down and down and down. He's like at 870 now, I think it is this year. He's out of I think there's 50 goalies in the NHL who have played at least 13 games, and he ranks 48th in save percentage.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
the numbers don't lie on that.
yeah, it is what it is,
He's
right?
bad. Like
It's not good.
he's not had a good season.
Yeah.
And I think it's like very clear. So this actually does bring us to a very interesting.
Can I say one other thing about it
You
too?
can say whatever you want.
I don't love body language from him
From
after he
Harrison?
gives up a goal. He's very. I mean, he's obviously mad at himself, but it's very demonstrative
I think he's
anymore.
upstaging his teammates. You mean?
No. I think it's more like, oh man, I should have had that one. Oh, it's like an all shucks. Like I'm expecting this to happen all the time now.
He's Swedish.
All right. Well, it happens. It happens in practice too. Like I was watching the morning skate yesterday. I was down there at the arena for morning skate, and he was giving up some goals in the morning skate, and he would still do that, throw his head back, look up to the sky, like, oh, I should have had that one. And I feel like that's becoming a thing. Like you watch him in the game when he gave up the goal to Zibanejad on Saturday, he did it too. I mean, that goal goes right through him.
Yeah,
right.
right through him.
That's a goal that he's got to make the
You
save
have
on.
to stop that puck. Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I talked to a couple, even an NHL goalie about it.
Yeah.
At the building the other night, and he said that's an easy save.
Yeah.
That's an easy save. It's got to be stopped.
Yeah.
That's the problem though with him is that every single game there's at least one that you go.
Every game.
Like anybody else has to have that. He
Yeah.
needs to have that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my point.
And so this actually gets us to a conversation that we've like kind of had at different points this season, but it's probably like worth long-term kind of thinking about. So he's a restricted free agent at the end of the year.
Yes.
They have Kolosov and Bjarnason as the tandem in Lehigh Valley.
Yes.
Kolosov's had some really good games. He's had a few more recently that I think haven't been ideal. Bjarnason's looked pretty good. They don't want to mess with Lehigh Valley right now. I don't blame them. I think that it's probably more likely than not that next year Kolosov is up here as the backup. Bjarnason is the starter in Lehigh Valley.
Yeah.
And maybe they're going to try to do that easy transition. But like if you're the Flyers and you know that you have almost no intention of re-signing Sam Harrison, like, and based on last year with all the injuries, based on this year so far, I would not re-sign Sam Harrison. There are teams that are always looking for quote unquote NHL caliber goalies. Edmonton made a really weird trade, right? Just because they were desperate.
And then he got hurt right away.
I know.
If you're the Flyers, do you have an actual conversation as a group that says, hey, look, even if we are in playoff contention, Harrison's not getting it done for us. Let's get something for this guy.
You could.
And whether it's either you bring up Kolosov or maybe you just make a corresponding move and you bring in another goalie. Is that something that you think Briere could have on the docket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could go in if you're really trying to be a playoff team.
So-
I don't know how you could possibly go into a stretch with him as your backup.
I keep saying this with every one of his starts, and I'm going to keep saying it until something happens. I'll get it right eventually. I'll be right eventually. And then I can sit there and say, see, I was right. Every game for him is a big game for his employment on this team. Like I know that they've had conversations about this, and they haven't acted on it yet. They have had conversations about, do we stick with him or not? And so, like, I think every start is very important for him. And
is
if
he going to play for Sweden?
I haven't.
He's not on the Swedish Olympic team.
I don't think he was on the Four Nations team.
See,
He played 2 games in that tournament too.
That to me is where this gets really interesting, right? If he were to make the Swedish team, and say he plays well, because he played really well in Four Nations.
Yeah.
Then he came back and he didn't play well here. Does that raise the trade stock a little bit more if he goes and has a really successful Olympic run?
Can you afford to wait that long? You're the one who pointed it out. There's 22 games left before the Olympic break.
A quarter of the season,
right, you have 22 games left before the Olympic break. Now, Vladar's going to play 16 of
those.
Right, 15, maybe 15. All right, so Sam Erson's going to have to play 7 more starts, 8, if you count tonight. Can you afford that? Can you afford him playing all those? Like, I don't know if you can drag this to the deadline and know you're going to lose. There's a better chance than not that you're going to lose a point or lose 2 points in a game that you could have won otherwise. I just don't know. If you want to make the playoffs, I don't know how much longer you can push that. That's what I keep saying. So unless he plays well, and then you say, okay, give him another chance. Okay, give him another chance. But at what point has he not played well enough that you sit there and go, we need to try something else?
Bundy, I want to throw this to you as the former player. So there are 2 parts to this. As a defenseman and as just a teammate in general, when you have a guy who's in net that you know you can't rely on to make a save to bail you out,
which was most of my career.
That it stinks as a teammate, but as a defenseman, it probably stinks even more, right?
Yeah, it's just tough because you like, and I'm joking about that when I was just being facetious, but it's hard when you have an expectation of your goaltender to make the stop and they don't make the stop.
Yeah.
Especially if your team's playing well, that can be a real empty hole in your team. Where your team's playing well and your goaltender isn't. And I think the Rangers game was a pretty good example of that on Saturday, where the Flyers, I thought, played a good hockey game and their goalie let them down. And there's no one else to blame in that situation except for the goaltender. Sure, the team makes mistakes. They did. But they weren't enough that they couldn't have overcome those. It was the goaltending, ultimately, that penalty shot, or the power play goal.
Yeah.
That tied the game and gave the Rangers a chance to win it. And the power play, you could blame the Flyers' power play, too.
Sure.
The power play was atrocious in overtime.
Yep.
4-on-3 did nothing. They moved it around the perimeter the whole time.
Yeah. Our good friend Tony Louie, who called in the show last week, says Jeff Hackett didn't instill any confidence, Bundy.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, they weren't bad goalies, but I never played. Let me just say this: I never had a Patrick Waugh or Marty Brodeur.
Who was the best goalie you had?
Probably Czech Manic.
Yeah. And think about that.
Yeah.
Like that. So that's Czech Manic was a very good regular season goalie.
Yeah.
Not so much in the playoffs, but even think about that. Like that's the best that you had in your career with the Flyers.
Yes.
And you played more games of defense than any other Flyer in history, and the best goal you had was Roman Czech Manic.
Yeah, and there was nice. He was outstanding.
Yeah.
He was very unorthodox in his saves. But the first 2 goalies I had was Ron Hextall and Gar Snow. Good goalies.
Yeah.
But not like the high pedestal, the top of the food chain, in terms of the goaltenders. And they probably say the same thing about my defense. So it's all good.
Yeah.
When you're in the midst of a season like this team is, where they are effectively overachieving based on what we kind of thought they would be in the preseason, the offseason, mentally, you're aware that one guy is playing really well and one guy isn't. Does it change your mentality at all as a player that
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you're like, if you find out the other guy's in nets, you're like, oh boy. In your own head, you don't repeat it, but in your own head, you're like, oh, yeah.
So how does that?
But then you would imagine that you're not the only guy. Then, like,
right,
the team as a whole. So does that almost like permeate where it actually kind of changes?
You don't think about it.
Okay.
Just so you know, you're not like, it's not like you're before the game. Like, let's say I'm playing tonight, and Sam had a bad game last Saturday, and they're like, okay, guys, tonight Urs is going. In my head, I might be like, oh, okay, I hope he's better than he was Saturday.
Yeah.
But I'm not marinating that.
Okay.
I hear it once, I go prepare for the game and hope my goalie does a great job for me.
Okay.
That's not part of my thought process at all.
There's no like thought of almost having to overcompensate or
No.
change your game to
No.
try to. Okay.
No, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
That'll
I would
make it
think so,
worse
right?
because then you
you're
get the obscure
overthinking it,
stuff.
not,
Yeah.
It's not
But-
instinctual play.
But in the moment, in the game, when that goalie lets up that goal that we keep talking about, that
You
he should have
feel
made
it.
the save,
Yeah.
you feel it differently, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's you're not playing your game differently, but it can impact the game.
Yeah.
The way you're playing the game because of that in the back of your mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which is where things are tricky. Like that's
Yeah.
that's why they're in this. It's such a weird place to be, right? Because on the surface, if you are a negative Flyers fan who's a negative Flyers fan for the last 10 years or whatever, and in fairness, you are well within your right to be pretty negative about the past decade or so. You could still look at it and say, all right, here's a team that we expected to be bottom-ish kind of team, could very well end up in the lottery. They're overplaying their talent level. They're getting otherworldly goaltending this season from Vladar. They're getting point per game pace out of Zegras that he hasn't had before. I mean, this is the best case scenario for Zegras. You're still able to overcome Mishkov not being himself. You're able to overcome, to this point, Forster's injury. You could look at it if you're a negative fan and say, oh, eventually a couple of these things are like going to come back down to earth. And that's why I think it makes it more difficult for the front office because they also have to be aware, like, a lot of these things are going well. You don't want to make a reactionary move and trade something of value to patch it, to like give this team, a chance or whatever. But at the same time, if this continues for another 20 games, I don't know how you don't make a move.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but it's sometimes harder to make that move. I mean, it's going to have to really blow a lot of games and be really bad for them to have to do something excruciating.
Because like
He could come out and play a good game tonight, and then and then you're thinking like, wow, your backup got a win tonight. That was great. This is the kind of game your backup is meant to play. Even though we thought Vladar would go tonight, and I am with Anthony on that, but this is a tailor-made backup goaltender night against a bad team. The second night of a back-to-back. You won last night. You got the money in the bank in the first game of the back-to-back. And, this is a type of game that your backup is slated to play. And so he's getting a start tonight and hope he has a good start tonight because the Flyers need the 2 points.
Just want to remind everyone we are coming to you live from Chickies and Pete's in Bordentown, New Jersey. Thank them for hosting us here tonight. We're at Chickies and Pete's every week, usually on Wednesday night. This week and next week, though, Tuesday night shows because of the holidays. Next week we will be at Parks Casino, the Chickies and Pete's inside Parks Casino. So if you want to come out and see us next Tuesday, 6 p.m. start time. But the perfect place to it's a perfect place to watch any Flyers game. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to the game, make sure you check out the flagship location down in South Philly, right across the street from the stadium complex. Hop in there beforehand. It's a great place to grab a bite before you go into the game. Get one of their specialty pizzas. Grab a burger. Grab the fish tacos. Grab the crab cake sandwich, the chicken sandwich, whatever it is. Make sure you stop by there anytime that you're heading down to a Flyers game this season or any other season. If you want to see what else that Chickies and Pete's has going on, they have a lot of things going on at all of their locations. Go and check them out at chickiesandpete's.com for upcoming events and more.
I will say this, though. I've watched since I broadcasted and started doing pre- and post-game live. It was my first gig back in 2006-07. I think Vladar, 6-7, 2006-7. There you go. Yeah. I will say I think Vladar's provided the best goaltending I've seen in that time frame in this short sample size in 20 years.
I agree.
That's good. I'm trying to think about it because I know that Mason had a couple good seasons.
Mason was good, but in terms of where you're at for him playing the amount of games he's played, getting there's nights he's piggybacked the team. Yeah, he's gotten a lot of points for this team this year.
Yeah, I was going to say that even going back, Marty Biron that first year, the year they went to the conference final,
he wasn't this good.
07-08. He was pretty solid that
year. He was
solid,
but Vladar was just remarkable.
I'd argue he also had a better team in front of him.
Certainly did. Certainly did. Certainly did. For sure. Do we want to get to? We have 5 minutes left. Do we want to get to our picks for tonight?
No, we'll put those out on Twitter. We had this conversation.
Why don't we just put our picks out so people hear them?
Fine, go ahead.
I know why you don't want to put them out.
Because it's just
because you sit there and say, well, because if they're going to go back and watch the show, they're going to sit there and say, well, it's a week after the fact. The game's already happened. It's old news.
Typically, a holiday episode of a show you make more evergreen. And
I get it, but we're at the last 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. If people are still watching a week from now, if it's like New Year's Eve and you're watching this, thank you for watching the entire hour. We greatly love you. But let me tease it right now. We're about to tell you the predictions for a game that's already happened. If you're watching this after December 23rd, this next 5 minutes you could skip.
What if you're
I give you permission.
and True Detective?
I give you permission.
We are predicting for the Flyers and the Chicago Blackhawks game on December 23rd.
That was really well done. I'm pulling up the interns.
All right.
I'll still predict before. So I wanted to be positive. I wanted to go into the break riding a wave of positivity, and then I find out Sam Erson's in that. So it's going to be, 5-3 Blackhawks, and I hate it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I changed my score. I changed my score knowing that Erson is in that, but I still think the Flyers win this game. I think that the Blackhawks are missing a lot, and I just think that it's an important game for the Flyers, and so I think that they're going to go out and they continue to play the way they've played defensively. I think that they'll still win this game. I got the Flyers 5-3.
So you have the same
score, different
result.
Different result, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm even going. I'm going with Anthony on this one. I feel like the Flyers played a good game last night. Systematically, they were really, really sharp in their positioning. And if they do that again, if they duplicate that effort again tonight by playing a lesser team even than Vancouver, with the injuries that Chicago has, I think the Flyers roll again tonight. I'm going Philadelphia 4-2 tonight. 4-2 Flyers.
Okay. All right. Intern Andrew also has 4-2 Blackhawks. He has 4-2 Blackhawks. You had Flyers there, right?
4-2 Flyers.
So we
wow.
have two
reverses.
It's like the third time we've done this.
Where two of us have had the same score but different outcomes.
Yeah. It's like the third time we've done this.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yours was 5-3 Flyers.
5-3 Flyers. Yeah. That was my call for
Bundy
this one.
was 4-2.
4-2 Flyers. Yep. Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
I think we can actually go to the comments since we're not actually over the radio. I think we could take like 2 extra minutes or whatever. Go out to the comments if there's anything anybody wants to get to. We could treat this as a little bit of that overtime. Is there anything that you saw in the comments that was getting asked that you think is
no
worth throwing out?
At least nothing that I want to discuss at this point.
Okay.
There were some comments that I was
oh, you know what we didn't do?
Fired up to reply to.
Yeah, we didn't do Anthony versus
it's
Christmas.
Twitter. It's Christmas.
I think that's a good thing that you're not.
Yeah, not do it tonight. It's Christmas. We'll do it next week. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Yerk. I see what you're saying, Yerk. It's all good. There's one. There's a good comp for you.
What?
So Gig 5087 asks, Barkey the next Steve Sullivan?
No, he's better than Steve Sullivan. He does. Sullivan was a shifty guy, but shiftiness, yes.
Yeah.
Because I always tell you about Steve Sullivan. I had the worst time with that guy.
Yeah.
Because he was so damn small, it felt like he could go between my legs. Maybe Barkey could too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Barkey does something Sullivan doesn't do. He goes to the net without the puck.
Yeah.
Like he goes into those high traffic areas. He's fearless. Maybe someone will blow him up one day with a huge hit, and it'll put some fear in him. But I don't see any fear in Denver Barkey. I think this guy just loves the game of hockey. He plays it the right way and does a lot of great things out there.
So, Bundy, I know we're not really an analytics show.
Right. No, I don't like analytics.
Just want to throw this out there. At just another Flyers fan who is an analytics guy said Bundy's defensive point share was excellent. So apparently your analytics were pretty damn good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Going back and looking at your career.
And now Bundy likes analytics.
I have no idea how they'd even find that, but
he's gonna frame that and put it above the mantle.
If I played today and I saw this crap
share.
like this every night, I'd lose my mind. Seeing this, like what in it. The worst part is you can play a good game, and this tells you something different.
Yeah,
that's the worst. Like if you're hanging your hat just on analytics for the sport of hockey and just analytics, you're a clown.
Yeah,
you're a complete fraud and a clown.
So there you go. You asked me to go to the comments,
and got him fired up.
2 nights in a row, he wraps up the show brilliantly. If anyone missed it, by the way, go back, and I would think that they think Amadeo put it out on YouTube. The end of the show from last night.
Oh, about the
at the end of the press row show. About Bundy shaving intern Andrew's head.
Oh yeah, it's out there.
It was one of the. It's a top 5 end of a show that we've ever had.
Yeah.
At top 5.
It was a great day.
That was so
Great
good.
time.
So good. So be sure to check that one out.
All right, guys. So Christmas this week.
Yes.
Plans? You guys doing anything fun?
Family, man. Just, as I said earlier, we're going to be at my sister's tomorrow, Saturday, or whatever day it is, Thursday. And then tomorrow night we'll be at my mom and dad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll see the kids on Christmas, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'll see 3 of the 4. My oldest, Isabella, she's in Minneapolis. Her husband, Will Fries, is a Vikings offensive lineman. They play Christmas Day, so I'll be settled in watching Netflix at 4:30 on Christmas Day. Vikings in Detroit. So she's getting Chinese food for dinner.
It's still an important game for the Lions.
It is,
right? So,
yeah,
I think that the Vikings will probably try and give them a game.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I have that set for my day. Yeah.
By the way,
great.
you and I had a moment before we went live. We both ended up at Costco today.
Yes.
Both ended up looking for meat.
Yeah.
What are you making on
Like prime rib
on Christmas Day?
Prime rib. Yep.
Are you smoking?
I think we're smoking a ham. I think my in-laws are bringing a ham to the house, so I'll put that on the egg. But I went to Costco this morning, and I was supposed to go get some steaks, and then I saw beef tenderloin. Right, I've been trying to get my wife to do beef Wellington. I don't think she's going to do it this Christmas, but I was like, well, you could slice beef tenderloin, do some fillets. I got some ribeyes. I got some New York strips. I'm going to go stand out at the Blackstone in the cold.
Nice.
Kind of get lots of butter, get some aromatics in there. It's going to be good.
Good stuff.
It's going to be a very nice
Good
Christmas.
job, Russ.
Well, have a wonderful holiday, gentlemen.
Yeah,
It's
great. Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Yep, and we will. I won't see you till next Tuesday, but it'll be a pleasure.
Yeah.
But it'll be good.
Everybody have a wonderful Christmas out there. Happy holidays, and if we don't talk to you until the new year, I don't know why that would be the case, but if we don't talk to you until the new year, have a very happy new year as well. But we'll be back next week down at the barn. Or no,
2 weeks.
No, wait, 2 weeks isn't it? That's right. We're on the radio next
The
week.
6th. First game back is Anaheim.
I need a
6th.
break.
Yeah.
Can
Cutter,
we get a break?
Cutter Gauthier.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Do we like Cutter Gauthier? Oh, we got some booze over here. Good. Yeah. All right. Big
Merry
thank you to
Christmas,
who tuned
everybody.
in live over on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Don't forget you can find the show wherever you get your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. For Bundy, for Ant, I'm Russ. Have a great night, everybody. Talk to you very soon here on Snow the Goalie.